Hey everyone! This video is about planetary interaction and taking raw materials harvested from your planet, putting them into T1 materials, and how to get them prepped for taking off planet. The first thing I want to do is build the spaceport. Next to our command center that we've already had placed. Submit. So the spaceport is going to act as our kind of our central hub for moving goods in and out of. Next I want to build an extractor. This structure will allow us to take raw materials off the planet. You notice for each structure we place, we use CPU and power grid, much like a ship. So keep in mind that you have a limited amount of resources in the structures that you can put down. We're going to click on our harvester here to survey. It's just a different order. Create a link. Links would allow materials to pass between two structures. You'll establish those as you build a facility. Those extractor heads here. Now you can control how long these extractor heads will run for. We'll be grabbing base metals, types of materials you can grab there. Zoom out and see the hot spots. There's a hotter spot to the right, but it'll be outside of our range. A really good spot over there, but extracted. So I like to run my PI for 2 days. From what I've read and what I've heard, that's the optimum amount of time to let this run for depletion purposes, and resources will restock or resupply. Areas are left alone over time. So you saw that as we extended the timer, these circles became larger. I want to spread them out so there's no overlap. If you have overlap with your extractor heads, have an inefficiency in resource gathering. This will be more challenging for the more OCD players that want to get these perfectly lined up each and every time, but again, as long as they're not overlapping, you'll be fine. Goes like that for now. We have a few red percentages, but they're all at 0%, which means they're just barely touching. Perfectly fine. I'm going to install the program. Submit. I'm going to scan mode over here. We can select base metals to see that color system again. And if, I believe by default it looks like this, it's a little hard to tell the colors what you want to see. You can scale it this way to get a better view of what you're dealing with. The extractor itself runs on a 30-minute timer. Every 30 minutes it's going to pull resources off, and it's going to want to take it somewhere, and it's going to be to our spaceport. So we're going to create a route. This is the material that's harvesting. So create a route to go to the spaceport. Submit. Now we can't do that until we have that link. That's why establishing that link before was so important. Finally, we want to create, back to the build mode, a processor. We're going to have these raw materials, and we want to have a way for these materials to get turned into T1 goods. This over here. Now I know that I'm harvesting base metals, and I want to turn them into delivery active metals. Install that. We're going to make a link. Create the link. Apply it to the spaceport. Submit. Also going to need to route back to the spaceport. Create. Submit. Alright, so this facility is now prepared to make T1 materials out of the raw materials that we have on this planet. So far everything is feeding into the spaceport. We need to also find our routes for the incoming base metals. Create a route back out to processor. Done now. You can see these little blue dots here are working both ways between the two structures there. That means that the processor is waiting for raw materials to come from the spaceport. The spaceport is waiting for raw materials from the extractor, and it's just this loop system like this. You'll have to play with your settings and number of structures to find balance between your number of extractors and your number of processors. I was running 4 processors for 1 1/3 full extractor units before, and I was getting backlogged on raw materials. So this time I'm going to run 1 extractor with max number of heads, and I'm going to try and go for like about 6 processors. But you're going to be limited always, remember, by your CPU and power grid usage. I have max skills on upgrading the command center. If you're dabbling with PI, I recommend going to level 3. You'll just have to scale back your operation as needed. But this has been TI T1 production in a nutshell. When the materials get to your launch pad, you will then hit the launch pad button. You can, as long as your ship is in space, let me back out of here for you. We're near our Fortizar out here, just hanging out. Access your planetary. Already figured this out, but you go business, colonies, planet 4. Back here again. So as long as we're in space, we can hit the launch pad. We can move goods from our space pad up into the planetary custom office, which is above the planet that we warp to and pick up goods. And we take those goods back to the station to sell, or we can take them to another planet that has more factories on it to turn them into T2 and T3 and T4 types of goods. Entirely up to you and how in-depth you want to get with the process, but that's an overview of the system. If you have any questions, post them in the comments down below the video. You can also join us at twitch.tv/rushlock. You can join our Discord server, which I will link in the comment section down below. I hope you all have a good day. As always, we'll catch you next time.